Aye, folks, for like today, it's Paul here, Spikkin Scots or Spikkin Doric, and I'm up at Altoon, or Old Town, which is where I was brought up. My mum and dad still bide here. A ferm town was one of the main firms that where folk used to work. There would have been cottages for the workers, and if you were an unmarried man, you would have bid in something like this, right? I had me, that's the Altoon Bothy. And the Bothy was for the ploughmen that weren't married, or the Oraloon, or anybody that wasn't married bid in the Bothy, non-married men. That in, actually, when I was a loon, that was my dad's garage, but it'd been converted, putting a kind of swing door in the front. But it's been turned back into something you can bide in now by Gordon Coots. It owns the Fern Buildings. That's a steading just ahead of me. It's been converted into a house, actually. So big changes afoot here from we used to feed beasts here on a weekend. So anyway, I spoke about parks a few days ago when I was up at Loch Ness, which wasn't really very appropriate because there was no parks, but just doing my shooter, that green grassy stuff, that's parks or fields. And it brings to mind kind of farming words, a gushet. Now a gushet is something my granddad would have spoken about. A gushet is like the corner of a park, and that would come from French, a gouchet. I think it's like the triangular bit in the corner of a park, so that's a gushet. That's a name you don't really hear unless you're closely related to farming nowadays, especially if they're kind of broad Scots Spikkin folk. So that's a gushet. Famously mentioned in the book, Johnny gave a gushet nuke. A nuke is a corner, so the corner of a park, very much for the fair must have been. So I bide at the Mains of Craigie, and again, like gushet, Mains is a word that has its origins in French. Whether it's probably Norman French, when kind of they begin to make their presence felt in Scotland, not by conquest, but they kind of married in and ended up owning a lot of ground by marrying kind of the local Celtic families. Names like Gordon, Grant, Napier, these would be good examples of Norman French names that are Fraser, like today with strawberry, Fraser. So anyway, Mains comes from demesnes or domain, and it would have been the main firm buildings for a landowner or a laird. So it'd be for the main farmhouse was, cottages for the workers, byres for the beasts in the winter, or storing grain and hay and stray, that sort of thing, neeps, tatties, etc. So that'd be that kind of thing. So there you go. And bothies, like just doing my shooter. So also you could see running about farms there. I think you could just about see a bit of an old dike lying there. A dike, Scots words for a wall, but you would hear that in like a Scandinavia, I would imagine. Down in England, there's a place called the Offa's Dyke, a defensive wall that was built back in ancient times. So anyway, hope that makes a wee bit of sense. We'll do a bit more later on. So anyway, cheerio.